Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, Part 8. Miranda Sawyer had a heart, of course, but she never used it for any other purpose than circulating her blood. She was a regular attendant at church and Sunday school. She had never had an education other than that of the neighborhood district school, for her ambition had been to be the manager of the house, the farm, and the dairy. Jane, on the other hand, had gone to academy, and also to boarding school for young ladies. So had Uriela. After all the years that had passed, there was still a slight difference in language and in manner between the elder and the two younger sisters. Jane, too, had the sorrow of the loss of her aged father and mother, for she had been content to let them go, but felt something far deeper. She was engaged to marry young Tom Carter, who had nothing. Then the war broke out. Tom enlisted at the first call. Up to that time, Jane had loved him with a quiet, friendly sort of affection. But the strife, the danger, the anxiety of the time set new feelings in motion. Life became something other than the 3 meals a day, the round of cooking, washing, and sewing, and church-going. Big things took place, with the sorrows of the wives and mothers, and pains of the fathers and husbands. Men and women grew fast in those days of a nation's trouble and danger, and Jane awoke from the dream she had called life to new fears and purpose. Then, after a year's anxiety, a year when no one ever looked in the newspaper without dread, sadly came the telegram saying that Tom was wounded. Without so much as asking Miranda's leave, she packed her trunk and left. She was in time to hold Tom's hand through hours of pain, showing him the heart of a girl filled with love and grief, putting her arms about him so that he could die in peace. It carried her through weary months of nursing other soldiers for Tom's dear sake. The experience sent her home a better woman, and though she had never left Riverboro in all the years after that, underneath was still the faint echo of that wild heartbeat of her girlhood. Having learned the trick of beating, loving, and suffering, the poor faithful heart lived on memories and carried on mostly in secret. It was already past the appointed hour for Mr. Cobb and his coach to be arriving down the street. "The stage should be here," said Miranda, glancing nervously at the tall clock for 12th time. "I guess everything is done, but children are very hard on furniture, and I expect we shall have a different house a year from now." Jane's frame of mind was naturally depressed, having been affected by Miranda's gloomy concern of the evil to come. The only difference between the sisters in this matter was that Miranda only wondered how they could endure Rebecca. Jane had flashes of inspiration in which she wondered how Rebecca would change them.